So today I'm going to cover, this is part 2 of our frequently asked questions in the renovation space. I speak to a lot of people, so I do get asked these same kinds of questions many times, which means people have the same kind of fears around renovating and it being a successful venture for them. So question number 1 today is, how do I prevent spending too much money on my renovation? Really important, guys. The most important thing I believe about a renovation is not to overcapitalize. So essentially people are worried about spending too much and how to avoid overcapitalization. So the first thing you need to do is set your budget, like set a really clean, defined budget and be determined to stick to that budget no matter what, particularly when you're out shopping and you're tempted by beautiful product that might not fit into that budget, or you're speaking to your builder or tradies on site and they're talking you into doing more than you actually planned for during the renovation. So set your budget, do a really detailed feasibility study so you know exactly how much things are going to cost. Do a feasibility study based on today's costs. Never then right now has this been really important to do, like never before has it been as important to do right now. Right now you need to research the availability of stock and you need to research some of the perhaps price rises that have been happening on things like timber and materials in the last couple of months. So you need to keep up to date with today's costs and do a detailed feasibility based on that. Then, stick to it, remove emotion from your buying decisions. And, your renovation goes for quite a few weeks. And so you've got the chance to check in on your budget along the way. Like there are major milestones where, say you do a larger job like a new kitchen, that's a really good time to check in at the end of that one job and say, how am I tracking? And if you are going over budget, then you need to pull it in for the rest of the renovation and maybe not have something that was in your plan for the rest of the reno. So check all the way along, right from the start to the finish, so that you're not surprised at the end when you sit there and go, uh-oh, we've run out of money. So that's number 1, is be determined not to overcapitalize. Number 2, question number 2 I'm asked all the time is, what do I leave and what do I rip out and replace? Which is a big question, right? It's a big question in the renovation space, is making all of those decisions. And sometimes the fear of making a wrong decision actually stops people from getting started in doing a renovation. Like they'll look at a room that they have at home and procrastinate for weeks, maybe in months, not brave enough to start because they don't know what to do. So the most important thing in determining exactly what to rip out and what to leave is to examine the components themselves. So you're looking at your property from the front to the back, from the top to the bottom, from the walls in. You are examining each, like really focusing on like the lights and the light fittings and the walls, like every little component, break down those components and judge them. Are they in good condition? Are they okay to leave? Would you love to rip them out if the budget allowed? Like start to list them. List what you'd really love to do. And then also list what's necessary, like the repairs that are really necessary. And they're going to be your priority, unfortunately, other repairs. So list those as well. Prioritize the repairs and the things that people will notice the most and try and work out what you can actually leave. Never, ever walk into a renovation project full of excitement and rip everything out and throw it onto the footpath or in a skip bin. Never, ever do that. Take the time to examine what you're dealing with. And under your realistic budget, sticking to your realistic budget, it's very important to take a breath, really take a breath and have a look at what you've got first. All right, so number 3 is, what rooms should be renovated that add the most value to a property? The rooms that should be renovated that add the most value to a property. Hands down, the rooms that you need to look at first are the kitchen and the bathroom. When we talk about renovating kitchens, we need to make sure that maybe not ripped out and started again, just like I said, maybe just considered, maybe just improved, have a look at what you can do to that kitchen. But the kitchen is the heart of the home. People associate kitchens with health, with family, with nurturing their kids, with feeding their kids. People love to cook. Many people, I don't personally, but lots of people do. So they'll spend a lot of time in the kitchen. So you must consider that the kitchen is going to get that big tick of approval from people who are viewing your property. They are emotionally attached to the area, to that area. A kitchen is far more than just, heating up your eggs. A kitchen is all about where the kids come home from school and they plonk their backpacks on the island bench and everyone gathers together to talk about their day. So people are picturing themselves in a space like that. It's really important to get that right. Bathrooms are associated with these emotions: calm, relaxing, unwinding, rejuvenating. So make sure that your bathrooms send that message to your potential buyers. So, an emotional pull to these rooms is a big, big trigger for getting people to pay more for your property than they ordinarily would or should. So kitchens and bathrooms are where you need to really pay attention. Not necessarily rip out and renew, but 100% pay attention, and that includes styling. So thanks, guys, for joining me again for another quick session. For all of you guys in the Mums and Dads Renovators and Decorators group, and for anybody listening on YouTube, if you'd like to follow along, I'm at Renovate and Real Estate, and I'll see you next week for my live at 12 midday New South Wales time in this same Facebook group. Cheers, guys.